Tonight, a Montana woman fights to return to the sport she loves after suffering a terrible accident. NBC Montana's Dominic Vitiello explains how she's making her comeback and what she hopes to do next.
From being new to the sport to garnering numerous medals, Lindy Smith and her husband Ken picked up axe throwing in retirement, and they couldn't stop. But on the night of their 34th wedding anniversary, an accident upended their lives and any axe throwing plans.
It turned my world upside down.
Lindy fell backwards off a stool and hit her head hard. She went into seizures and lost consciousness. An off-duty firefighter jumped in to help. Eventually, a helicopter airlifted Lindy to a hospital.
I have no recollection of any of that night, only waking up to a man staring at me that I did not know who was. And it ended up being my husband, but I still didn't believe them.
But the damage didn't stop with just her husband. The injury erased virtually everyone she knew from her memory.
It was heartbreaking. She thought we had a son. We got 3 daughters. She didn't know my name. I brought her phone in so she could look at Facebook, contact list, but she wasn't having any recall ability.
It took 3 days, but hospital staff and Ken were finally able to convince Lindy that he was her husband and it was safe to go home with him. Lindy says the experience left her traumatized, and it took her an entire month to work up the courage to leave the house. As recovery moved along for Lindy, she started falling in love with her husband and axe throwing all over again. That's when she set her eyes on an even bigger target.
My next step is hopefully turning pro, and then from there, hopefully qualifying for the U.S. Open and later down the road at the World Axe Throwing Championships.
Lindy also hopes her story will inspire others to overcome their obstacles in their lives.
The journey was going from a broken woman who cried constantly, who evolved into somebody who has decided that this injury doesn't define me.
Reporting in Kalispell, Dominic Vitiello, NBC Montana.